Okay, guys, good night. So today I will show you how to prepare this beautiful plot. As you can see, I will show you how to prepare both of this plot. So the left one is scatter plot with density contour, and the right plot is the hex bin plot with density gradient. So the purpose of two of this plot is that we want to understand the relationship between two variables. So for here we have relationship between rainfall and temperature. So usually when we do mapping, we do we do pattern for one variable, right? But this time, this is how we see the relationship between two variables. For example, here we have hex bin plot here. As you can see, the x value is temperature, y value is rainfall, and then we can see that most of the rainfall when it happened about 170 something like that, the temperature is about 26.5. So it occur more relationship is stronger here. So we can see when is the rainfall happen and when is usually the temperature of the rainfall. So we can understand the relationship between two variables. So I will show you the R code to prepare for this one. So let's see here. As we can see, let me put this one a little bit higher. Okay. Okay. Okay, now first I will show you how to prepare scatter plot with density contour, which is this plot, the left one. So first we need three library we need to install, which is ggplot2, dplayer, and reshape2. So you load this library first, and then you run. After you install this library, you run this library. If you don't know how to install this library, you can just put install.packages, for example ggplot2. Okay, you put your cursor here and then run line of selection, and then it will install the package for you. You see, now I'm installing the packages. You see, when the package is updated, when I'm installing it again, it will install. But usually it will not install anymore because I already have installed these packages. But I see that just now it's installing again because there is some update for this plot, for these packages. So I will keep it here. So this is the library. You need to install ggplot2, dplayer, and reshape2. So ggplot2 is used for creating the plot, and dplayer for data manipulation, and reshape2 is for reshaping the data. So run all of these three library. That is step one. You just load the library. Now we go to step two. We set the working directory and loading the data. So we set the working directory to the folder where your data files are stored, and then replace the path below with your actual working directory. So this is my working directory where I put my dataset. I put it in D drive, which is here. D research STI analysis. So I put my data here, here in this folder. So that is set working directory. Now I will load the temperature and rainfall dataset in CSV format. So I read this dataset CSV file, which is my temperature dataset and rainfall dataset. So it is in the form of CSV file because we want to run to see relationship between temperature and rainfall. So here I have my file, this one, PM era 5, TAG monthly white. PM era 5, this one. This is temperature. So this is the arrangement of the dataset. So as you can see, this is the arrangement of the data. So we have it in the form of calendar format. So I have January until December from 1950 to 2022. And then we run rainfall also. So rainfall is arranged the same way. I arrange the data the same way. Because this is my input data. So it is in the form of the calendar format, in the white form, which is from January until December. It is monthly rainfall. Now we want to understand relationship between monthly temperature and monthly rainfall. Okay, we run this data. Okay, it's there. Now we reshape the data. We convert the dataset from wide format to long format for easier manipulation. Actually, my dataset is already looks like this. But if you already have in the long format, you can use the long format directly. So in wide format, each month is a column. In long format, months are row. So we use math function to reshape the data. So we use the math function here to reshape both of this data set just now. So we run this one. We can view the data. How does it look like right now by using the view function. Okay, for example, temperature after we melt the data, now it looks like this in the long format. If you want, it must be in the long format like this. That is the function of melting the data just now. That is for temperature, and we can see for rainfall also it will look the same. Year, month, and rainfall. So this is the monthly rainfall. So this is after melting the data. Now we combine the data set. We merge the temperature and rainfall data set by the common column, which is year and month. So we have data set just now, we have year and month, right? Now we merge that data set. So this will create a single data set containing temperature and rainfall for each year and month pair. So we combine the data set by using the merge function, and then we combine the data set, and then we can view this data. We can view this data set. I like this view function. And then you can view that. You can see year, month, and then temperature and rainfall. So if you have the data set is already arranged like this, and then you can just skip all this part just now. But if you have this data set, you see, so you can see the month is not in a particular order, so it's okay. It doesn't matter, because what we want to see is how it's relationship later on. So scatter plot with density contour. Now the last step, we want to plot that data. So create a scatter plot to visualize the relationship between temperature and rainfall. Then we add density contours to highlight area with high data density. So here we use a ggplot function. We use the combined math dataset just now. For x will be temperature, y-axis will be rainfall. So we use geom point, alpha value equal to 0.4. You can play around with this alpha value later on. And then the color of the scatter plot with the transparency, this is 0.4, color equal to blue. So geom density 2D color will be red. This is the density of the contour line, because there will be a contour, the density of that contour. You can play around, you can change the color here, but red is okay. So scale X continuous for average temperature. We put the label for x-axis as average temperature in degrees Celsius. And for y-axis, the label for y-axis will be monthly rainfall, millimeter. And then I put the plot title. Title will be relationship between monthly rainfall and temperature from 1950 to 2022. And then the plot subtitle will be scatter plot with density contour. And then I put the caption as the data source will be ERA 5. And then we apply a clean and minimal theme to the plot. So Now we run all of this function for ggplot function, run all of it, and then we have this plot prepared very nicely with the right value, rainfall, and temperature. And this is the title, scatter plot with density contour. And the data source is ERA5. So I'm using ERA5 dataset. It's good to put your data source here is ERA5. So you can see here, the contour line is red. And I put the alpha value is 0.4. Now let us look what happens if we change this alpha value to 1. Run step 5 again. Okay, now you can see that dot is become clearer, right? It's more sharp. But what happened when we use 0.4 just now? It's become more transparent. It's up to you, but this 0.4 more transparent is better because we want to see the contour. So what we can see here, most of the time, rainfall fall between in less than 200, close to 200 millimeter. That is what it means. And during that time, that most of rainfall happened during this time, from 1950 to 2022. Most of it happened here. And when it happened, temperature usually will be 26.5 degree. So we can understand the relationship is very strong. Usually rainfall normally will be throughout the year is maybe about 190 and the temperature will be 26.5. Now we understand the relationship between rainfall and temperature. And we can see some outlier here. Sometimes rainfall is very high and the temperature fall down to 25.5, something like that. Some extreme value is there, like this one. Very low rainfall. And what happens when there is low rainfall? Very low rainfall and temperature is very high. Because temperature very high, that is why it's very low rainfall. That is relationship between monthly rainfall and temperature by using scatter plot with density contour.